Hey, Ryan, why don't you pull up Amazon's margins real quick?
Well, yeah, I'd have more of a grin on my face than Stephen Hawking on Epstein's Island.
I'm off as a smug cock when he said that.
Wow, fiscal philosophy, you're not very smart at all. You screw up, cash flow kings. Dissector, you are an idiot.
Hello, everybody. It's Saturday. It's 8 p.m. Eastern. On Saturday at 8 p.m. Eastern, you could be doing a whole lot of things, and some of them pretty bad for your lifestyle when you say fiscal.
I 100% agree. I mean, you could be hitting the clubs, hitting the bars, meeting the skeevy ladies.
Bad stuff. That's all I have to say. But as you guys may have noticed by now, Cashflow Kings looks a little different this week. We are on my channel instead of the main channel. And for some reason, Fiscal, on Tuesday, I logged onto YouTube and our main channel disappeared. I don't know if Casper the Ghost took it or something, but it's not there anymore.
It's some David Blaine shit.
I know. So everybody, first off, before the entire stream starts, we kind of need your help here as a community. YouTube has been as helpful as you think they'd be in recovering our channel. And we can't get into any details, obviously, for I think the safety of some of the members here on the show and us. But yeah, it could be a documentary one day, one could say.
YouTube support. You're not very smart at all.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
Yeah.
So everybody, if you could possibly like just tweet at Team YouTube. We're hoping by next week we should get the channel back. Looking at, we're hoping. So you can always hope, but of course, if YouTube actually wants to grow a pair, take it a little more direct themselves, that would help out the Cashflow Kings a lot. And it sucks because we were pretty close to monetization, and as one says, we don't do it for the money, but we were on a roll, and it's unfortunate. But welcome in. So you see it in the chat already. Free Cashflow Kings. He missed the Cashflow King guy. I do too. It's unfortunate. But welcome in, everybody. What a week. That's all I gotta say. But what a week. Multiple reasons. This is gonna go down as a cemented time in Cashflow Kings history. That's all I'm gonna say. We're gonna look back on one of this, and when we're in the content mansion, and we're gonna look back, be like, wow, what a time to be alive.
Indeed. Hindsight's always it always looks different in the rear view mirror for sure.
Yeah. CFK Corner, you're not very smart at all. But it's actually weird now going back to like a normal episode after like the last 5 or 6 weeks of the channel. So yeah, good to see it. Good to see everybody in here. Let's see Lincoln, Uncle Cody, this guy who's blowing us up on Twitter. I love him. The Free Cashflow Kings. Are you filing police report? Well, no, because we're janitor. We're janitor. We don't file police report. We only do it for the income.
We just sweep.
Yeah, I know. Oh, okay. Okay, Lincoln. I'll look into it. But yeah, welcome in, everybody. It's definitely a saga to behold of the Cashflow Kings right now. But all that matters is that it's live Saturday, 8 p.m. Eastern. We wouldn't miss it for the world, Fiscal. When we found out that our channel was took by Casper the Friendly Ghost, we were kind of afraid that we wouldn't be back by Saturday, 8 p.m. Eastern. There may not be a Saturday, 8 p.m. Eastern. But we plan to also re-upload this once we get our channel back. It's a matter of if.
Of course. And my view is that the show must go on, ladies and gentlemen.
That's
I used to be in theater, and that was always the case. In spite of what might be going on, maybe you're not feeling well, maybe there's some drama going on in the background. The show must go on.
Yeah, I had my fucking arm popped today, so that was a day to be had.
Whoa.
Yeah. Not very fair matchmaking, but it is what it is. No excuses here on the Cashflow Kings. I'm actually thinking for my next competition, I might want to get like a custom Cashflow Kings like uniform. That'd be sick. Cashflows. We do have some sick merch, by the way. For our 500 subscriber special, we're gonna wear it. And it's like Fiscal's seen the designs. It's hilarious.
Yeah.
Some of them,
it's all dropping as soon as things are squared away on the main channel.
Yeah, but like Fiscal has seen some of the designs. Like they're like legit. Like I actually pride myself on how well they turned out.
Yeah, you may or may not see us wearing it at launch.
Yeah, definitely. We got to get on that very soon. What happened? Yes.
That's all. That's all
we gotta
can
remain kind of vague. For those who don't know, is this Cashflow Kings of the Ryan Dingler show? What is going on? I don't know. Whatever your little heart wants it to be. That's right. Double D's coming in, free CFK. Also, we do want to give a thank you to everybody on Twitter who like reposts their stuff. Like
this is Double D's. Shout out to you.
I'll give a little. I gotta go back on the Twitter and look now.
Dividendology retweeted my initial thing, and my initial thing got several. I think it was like 2,000 views, something like that.
Yeah,
and quite a few retweets on it. So
unfortunately, YouTube is helpful as they're not very helpful. I'm trying to say.
So it's funny. Their FAQ says some things that turns out are not true about how they handle.
Let's just say, fellas, if the Cashflow Kings want to take Google to court, and if Matt the dividend prophet wasn't a shareholder, we definitely could.
Now, one strategy I've thought of is maybe I buy some shares of Google and then email investor relations about how peeved off I am. But
yeah. I'm telling you guys, if we got to go to court, we're wearing the merch there. We aren't wearing suits. You can get away with. Do you have to wear like something formal to court, or if people gotten away with like small claims? I mean, 400.
It would be the judge. So I actually have been to court a few times in my life. The judge would view it as disrespectful if you're wearing like something that isn't like, you don't have to go in like a suit unless you're a lawyer, but like definitely like a solid like business casual or something respectable is advisable even for small claims court.
Yeah. Dan, you're 100% right here. Like, we have so much meme potential when we come back to, like, me and Fiscal been discussing it for last week. But yeah, I mean, it was definitely one eventful week for us personally. I woke up, what day was it? Tuesday. I saw that, our channel magically disappeared. We didn't know why.
Mm-hmm. You could say David Blaine made an appearance.
Yeah. And like, we didn't know why it was taken down. We're like, okay. I thought this was going to be like a 24-hour thing, but the process has obviously played out a lot longer. It's a test, the Cashflow Kings, and it's definitely a saga to behold of, I'll say that. So, but the Cashflow Kings main channel will be back one way or another. I'll say that too. Same reason they don't tell you smile in the mugshot, it won't end. Yeah, probably not. I mean, I think our case against Google is strong enough.
Speaking of mugshots, I advise everybody to go on the Instagram page Mugshotties if you want to see basically attractive women's mugshots.
Hey, you can go to Hasbro's Jesus Christ, I'm out of it today. Oh my gosh. Long week, everybody, long week. If you go to Dutch Bros, there you go. Dutch Bros, Hasbro's, that's how I get it.
Dutch Bros, yeah.
Yeah, but while we're on the topic of Becky stocks, Target stock this week, I think that's like the main. It kind of got overblown by our saga this week, Fiscal. Like, Target stock was down 8%. We're cigar butt city again.
Fabulous. You know me, I love a good cigar butt.
I don't think it's fallen enough to be a cigar butt. That's the thing. Like, I think
it was definitely when it was like, what did it get down to last year? Like $100 or something.
100, like, yeah, 105.
Yeah, that's cigar butt prices, I think, for Target.
Yeah, we're more at like we're more like halfway through the cigar. We're not at Julie level yet, where there's banned, there's nothing left. We're not at cigar butt level either. But yeah, Target reported earnings this week. They pretty much like came in line with expectations. They actually lowered prices. I don't know if you saw it. They lowered prices against inflation, and people are happy about it. Good to see Target once again being the pioneer of retail that we all know that it is over Amazon.
Yeah. They still selling the tuck friendly swimwear and all that.
Okay, so this is another thing. So Strongman, of course, made a tweet about Target, right? And I'm like, I
wouldn't listen to that conehead if I was.
I know that conehead. If he wants to come onto if Strongman, he offered to come onto the channel after our recent debacle or recent situation, and I'm like, yep. And I'll get you a pair of tuck-friendly underpanties from Target. I said that's the one stipulation. Yeah. And since he's tweeted negatively about that and Starbucks, he's not getting those tuck-friendlies.
And he and I can have a titty jiggling contest.
Yeah, members only. If you know,
members only. Exactly.
Welcome in Bacon. Yeah, it kind of sucks, guys. We blew through like an entire quarter worth of guests last week. So like the legend of episode 32, that's just gonna be like, that might need its own line.
It'll be like it'll be similar to Order 66 in Star Wars, basically.
Yeah,
it's gonna be just it's gonna be a legend of all time.
While we're on the topic of margins, did you see the Dividend dude and Paul are getting into it on Twitter
about McDonald's stock?
Yeah, that was not on my 2024 bingo list.
Yeah, yep, yep. The legend himself of everything money, Paul Gabriel, against Double D's himself. It's a veritable clash of titans, and I don't know. I think it was just one back and forth, though. I don't think it's still going.
Unfortunately, I'd pay to see that.
I would like to have them both on to debate McDonald's at some point.
Oh, we should do that now.
That would be awesome.
I know Dividend dude would do it. I don't know about Paul.
Paul probably thinks he's too good.
We couldn't get Seth on the channel. I don't know if Paul's gonna work. Fiscal's executing Order 66. Never know. You're not very smart at all.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. But I do have the 3D delts going for me, and
Tremboloni.
You never know. Don't want to mess with the 3D delts.
Chipotle is even following the prey margin. I saw Chipotle servings have gotten worse recently. I saw that on Instagram, and actually the bowl I got usually was a little light this week. What a tool. Yeah, Paul's an interesting fellow. Let's just say that.
He's definitely interesting. The thing is, if you go back like a couple years, the majority, like I would say more than half of what he says on the channel, I would say like, I kind of agree with that.
I know. I'm with you.
Yeah. And it's just crazy, like how things change over time.
It really is. It's for a lot of creators too. That's how it is. Like I remember I liked them. They're probably 2021, 2022, because they were like, compared to Jeremy, it's like choir boy, like James Brown. Like
one of the few voices, kind of going against like the Tesla pumping and all that stuff that was really popular at the time.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it was, I guess, like compared to what else was out there, it was easy to look good. Maybe that's what it is. Because anybody that was kind of new and just getting into watching YouTube videos on this topic, you get recommended like Stockmo, right? And it's like, like almost anybody looks good by comparison when that's the first thing you get exposed to, I guess, right?
And there's Graham. What a group of characters. Graham, Andre, Jeremy.
Graham's early stuff was all about being frugal and like taking advantage of credit card rewards. I think like that was the majority of it.
His old stuff was good. I think that he's kind of like every video of his is the same now. It's like
he was all about like, just because I make more money, I don't like increase my lifestyle. I still brew my own coffee at home instead of going to Starbucks. Which, by the way, if you're a Starbucks shareholder, boo, Graham Stephan,
get it out of here. Disgusting.
Yeah, get out of here. You can afford a $6 latte.
I know. We're like, me and Dividend dude are bringing back like the acceptability of buying Starbucks. We're like doing work on behalf of the company. Like whenever we get a drink, we'll post it on Twitter or something, and then we start a whole chain. And it's one of those positive effects of being a part owner of a company.
I'm just saying, Starbucks should pay you guys, and Coke should probably pay me. Just saying. Oh. When am I not drinking Coke on stream?
You have the Prime.
I did have Prime. I had both. Didn't I have both last week? Didn't I switch from Prime to?
I recall a bunch of comments, both positive and negative about the Prime.
About the Prime, yeah. I mean, just to clarify on that, I'm not saying Prime is the best energy drink. I'm a connoisseur. I rotate through like all of the zero sugar varieties, and by the way, I only do the zero sugar varieties. I don't drink anything with sugar in it, because that's how you become a blown up lard ass. And I refuse.
Yeah, I get a coffee every day with cream and sugar.
With cream and sugar. I'll use the artificial sweetener, and no, it doesn't give you cancer. Shut up with that.
Paul was trying to say that McDonald's prices were only going up due to inflation, which is not true. They obviously raised them partially due to that. An excuse to raise some more. Do you think there's any truth to that?
So I think what Double D's is talking about is something known as price exploration or discovery, where
Yeah.
they're testing out to see where the limit is, where raising the prices actually negatively affects their sales.
Starbucks. Sorry.
Yeah. So I do think that they probably are doing some of that. That's a known thing that happens during periods of inflation, is that they will, they'll say, well, people already have it in their heads that prices are going up. So let's see like where the stopping point is, where people start to cut back, and then like kind of dial it in from there. They do, like, if you go to the store, even you'll see them doing it with like 12 packs of like, Coke, Pepsi, whatever. You'll see that the prices like went up. They were like $9 for a 12 pack, but now you'll see they've dialed it back down a little bit, probably because people were like, F this, I'll just drink water at this point. Yeah.
Big creatine guy over here.
Love creatine.
I'm weighing ridiculously low, so the bulk has started today.
You are looking rather svelte.
Yeah, it's combination of the week and the combination of the week stress and the week cut. But yeah, I know enough is enough.
I've got to get the cut back on track. I've been like stress eating because of all the bull crap I have going on in my carne asada fries have been very close to my heart lately. So
yeah. Good Memorial Day weekend. So,
but I have been. I think my workouts have been better though. So like
that's good.
That. Yeah.
I gotta load up again. I've got like. It's funny. I moved up a weight.
Hey, just so we're clear, I don't really have to worry about that.
Huh? Prime is a hard pass. I think my issue with Prime, I think Logan Paul is a scumbag, and I know that's like, so I can't support him. I can support like the scumbags at Coke or whatever poisoning us, but it's not Logan Paul. Here's
what I know. I know that their hydration drink is BS because it has it's all potassium, no salt, which that's not ideal for hydration.
Because they want to make it taste better.
Yeah. But the energy drinks themselves, they taste good, and they've got 200 mgs of caffeine, which is like there's different levels of caffeine for different occasions, and the 200 mgs is good when I just need like a modest boost, but I don't want to be up all night.
Well, how much sleep do you get every night?
Most nights it's somewhere around probably 6 to sometimes maybe 7 is pretty typical for me.
I won't shit on you because I understand not all of us have the luxury life of being in high school still. Some of us actually have jobs and responsibilities. I understand.
Yeah, well, and here's the thing. I get off work at midnight if I didn't have to stay later for some reason.
Yeah.
And then I usually have like a little bit of wind down time, maybe like my last meal before bed. And then my phone starts hitting me with notifications if any of my stocks are going crazy because Robinhood sends notifications to my phone. That wakes me up 6:30 when 6:30 a.m. my time when market opens.
There you go.
So I'm not realistically like 6 hours if I don't go to sleep after that and take like a nap or something. So
there's a reason for gear, everybody. There's a reason for gear. I agree with Double D's. Great point, comrade. I like that kind of communication guff. How about a YouTube diss rap? I love this guy's comments, man. A YouTube diss. I don't know, maybe 1,000 subscribers. Me and Fiscal hop on the mic. We gotta be careful who we go after, though. We don't want to wake up a sleeping bear. What's your name? Oh yeah. Oh yeah, the Robinhood switch ups from everybody's been wild recently.
By the way, like this isn't a switch up for me. I've had this Robinhood account for years. It's what I use to like dick around.
I meant not from you, but like
yeah. No, I know, but like that he might not know that. Yeah.
Okay. Okay, good. Oh man, dude, Dan, if you're coming on still for the quote of the year at the end of the year, the Robinhood quotes are going to be flying, so just be prepared for that.
All I'll really say about Robinhood is I think a lot of the negativity again, I've been very consistent on this. The negativity against them is largely perception, very little substance. They changed the industry for the better overall. Yep. They were a disruptor, and they basically changed the way all other brokers now do things. I mean, I grew up and I don't blame anybody for not remembering this, but when I was growing up, I would see commercials on TV in like the 1990s. Oh, you can buy stocks on whatever brokerage for only $8.99 a trade and stuff like that. Most people nowadays that are like just regular people, dollar cost averaging a few $100 a month into an ETF, $8 or $9 a trade would be like, I don't know, like 2% of what they're putting in or something. And
commission, never heard of her.
And that's why fund managers for like mutual funds and stuff could get away with the 1%, and it wouldn't really be a big deal. You'd be spending that much just executing your own trades anyway.
Yeah.
And that's why mutual funds for the longest time were then why Dave Ramsey still recommends them, because he's stuck in the 1990s and hasn't heard of ETFs yet.
Yeah. Our business math course, we're doing like calculations on like bonds and other like stocks right now. And like, with like calculating total return or whatever. And we still have to like factor commission in. I'm like, this is, I'm not familiar with your game, as one would say. It's weird. It's weird. It's a little outdated, but yeah, definitely. We don't mess with commissions here on the Cash Flow Kings.
Yep.
When I started, I wouldn't buy less than 3,500 because of the commissions. Was that 1962, Guff? A joke. That's a joke, Guff. I'm sorry. Don't come after the Cash Flow Kings. Come here. You need to take that business. He'd have too many questions, dude. He wouldn't be able to get through like half of it.
So I wonder what would happen if he brought up that he was making $7,000 a month from Tesla.
I make $7,000 a month from Tesla. Man, Kamara's just fallen in the back of my head after like that kind of saga has passed as well, but like that's just kind of fallen in the back of my head. I appreciate people like Kamara a lot more.
Yeah.
This is like made. I'm telling you guys, this is making us all for the better. Like Dividend dude is like Dividend dude's like a choir boy to me now. He could say some ridiculous shit, and I won't even be mad after some of the stuff we've had to experience here on the Cash Flow Kings.
Everything's relative.
Yeah. Here you pay $5 transaction fees. Not that I know of. I know you get like a boatload of benefits if you get the Robinhood Gold. You get like
you gotta. Yeah, I mean, I would say the Gold's probably worth it overall. You get pretty good. You get pretty good interest rates, like both for any cash you have and for any margin that you use. If you dabble in the dark arts of margin, you get you can have like a spending account. You can get a match on your Roth IRA. Like it's like there's pretty and that new Gold credit card thing they've got going on. Like it's pretty sick, to be honest. Yeah. SoFi, eat your heart out. Robinhood's like running circles around you right now.
So I think once the Cash Flow Kings things get monetized, right, I think we need to start doing super chats for impersonations. I think it's too valuable. But while you guys have us for free, you must not believe in the magic of a high yield income. You are definitely not a dragon like, oh yeah. Like Kama says, fortune favors the dude who ate the fortune cookie. That's why.
I just exploded.
I gotta pull it up now.
I just exploded.
Oh, it's never gonna get old. I'm telling you guys, we get the account back. Like the memes are gonna be out of control. Robinhood goes better than other YouTube. Yep, that's true. That's definitely true. Wait till we start our lifestyle course. Living the good life with Fiscal and Ryan.
100%. Yeah, we'll go down to Vegas. It's gonna be a heck of a time.
We're gonna rent out a penthouse. We're gonna get Chardonnay, champagne.
I heard when MPW 5X's Leaf is gonna get us a penthouse and possibly take us to a strip club.
He's gonna have all that commission money from the merch, the making
Yeah.
people wealthy merch. That actually came out very well, everybody. I didn't know how that would turn out, but it came out very well. We're not risking it anymore with using companies' logos and our stuff. I even asked for permission, but I never heard back from them. So that might be a sell case. It's like with the
Hey, you know what you should have done? You should have added this line into the email. Don't respond if it's a yes.
Don't respond.
That's ironclad, right? If you put that in there, it's a yes, right?
Yeah. If you don't respond, it means yes. Yeah, I've had some. It's kind of interesting, like the very minimal interactions you have with like companies and executives. I did for the fun of it last summer. I requested a Target interview with Brian Cornell, the CEO. Remember the guy we talk about who's he's a little automated when his responses. Yeah. He's the original Laxman. He's like the white original Laxman. Thank you very much for that question. If you hear him talk, you get slightly uncomfortable, but that's okay. Requested interview from him. They actually got back and they declined. So, I mean, may have to sell some Target now because it's down and because it went down. It's not good anymore. 1 and 2, because they won't come on. Raj Grover, I would have bought 1 share of High Tide if he came on.
So I've heard that if a stock's 5-year chart doesn't look good, it's a sell. Is that true?
I heard 2.5 year, but I think 5 years definitely more long-term focused. So I'd go with you there. I agree.
Yeah. Speaking of Raj Grover, have you listened to any of the like their earnings calls or anything like that? And
I didn't listen to an earnings call, but I listened to an interview he did. I did about like 20 or 25 minutes of it.
Yeah. So I did go back to the last earnings call, and yeah, Raj Grover definitely, like, he lays it out, and they take so many analyst questions, I feel like, compared to other companies. Like if you're an analyst, like, it doesn't matter. Like you can work. I feel like you could work for some like local credit union in a small town, and he'll still take your questions. It's crazy. I kind of like it though.
I can respect that. He's not coming on CFK, but I can still respect it.
Yeah, but and here's the thing. He's got. I mean, it sounded like he had good answers that weren't like dodgy to pretty much all the questions.
Yeah.
And stuff.
We should do a CEO tier rankings list sometime. Oh, that'd be so fun. If we got like community voted CEOs, we'd have Brian Cornell in there, Pat Gelsinger, Raj Grover could be thrown in there. Who else? Oh, Laxman for sure.
Ed Aldag.
Is Fraser Paring technically a CEO?
I mean, no, Viceroy isn't. I mean, if we're talking about, they have to be a CEO of a publicly traded company now.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah.
I don't get. Oh, John disrespected it, spelling it wrong too.
You could get Tim Apple in there.
It's Tim Cook.
Tim Apple.
Yeah. Good morning. I'd add that guest here. Dude, will you start getting in the magnificence of they're paying a dividend?
He doesn't focus only on dividends now.
He's a total return, and he's just an investor. Take that back, Lincoln.
I insist that you retract that statement.
Yeah, I do it for the safety of you. Yeah, this has just been fiscal. If there's one word to describe this week, what would you use? Can't use income.
Chaos.
Yeah. What's it been like from your side? We haven't really spoken crazy about it. What's like share some of your perspective from the details that you can.
Yeah, sure. So I think for me it's eye-opening as to just like how difficult it is to work with YouTube.
I'm with you.
Yeah.
Especially when you're not monetized either. We don't our account wasn't.
Yeah, I suspect that it was it happened in part because the channel doesn't bring them any revenue yet. So from their perspective, it's just like they're going to do the path of least resistance because they deal with millions of different requests and stuff every single week. So they're going to probably limit how much human eyeballs actually look at certain things. And it's just, they're going to leave a lot of the heavy lifting to the automated processes, which they're not very smart at all. unfortunately.
And even like the user responses too, like, have been extremely unhelpful on Twitter.
The cookie cutter, like,
It's so
appreciate your
annoying.
patience and all that. It's like, no, don't appreciate my patience. Like,
Appreciate these nuts.
actually read what's being
I
said.
think
But
the wild thing that would, I'll try and find it, but you continuously brought up a highlighted segment that like completely went against their guidelines, and it was just like,
yeah,
I find it wild they don't respond to it. Yeah. Excuse me, but you claim in your FAQ that the only strikes you allowed was their high degree of certainty when the system isn't being abused. In this case, where abuse is down obvious. So for me, some reason you're willing to unwillingly acknowledge this blunder. Yeah, it's just been like, it's not a copyright issue. It's an attack issue, and I don't know if that's like not gotten through or whatever. But like, it's what a time to be alive.
true. But hey, it's one of those things where it is what it is, and it's like, hey, at the end of the day, it's something to definitely learn from. That's for sure.
I'm with you. Yeah, this is gonna be a cash flow learning experience. One could say it's cash flow-over.
Yep. So yeah, just more steps to protect ourselves probably ought to be taken going forward. Yeah.
We have discussed those.
Yeah.
So how did you find out that our channel went Casper the Friendly Ghost?
Gosh, it was so early in the
there.
morning. My brain wasn't working very well. So I think somebody on Discord was saying that they couldn't watch one of the clips that that had been shared, and I was like, oh, that's weird. And then I went to just check, behind the hood or under the hood or whatever, and it's like, oh, okay. And I was like, all right. And so I talked to our editor to see if he could have a better idea of what was going on. And yeah, we knew that we would just have to wait for you to check the old official email and see what they were saying. And yeah,
I did not. That is just wild. It was just my morning kind of flew by, so it was nice, but it was also just like a complete pain in the ass for no reason. But yeah, we're definitely expanding a lot more. If you guys already are following on Twitter at CashflowKings YT, go do that. We try and post there a little often during the week. Nothing wild, but some good, funny, little cheeky stuff. And our one viewer on Twitch right now. Thank you very much.
That one guy on Twitch, hats off to you, buddy.
I think it's Dissector too. I'm fairly certain it is.
Hey,
but yeah.
Hey, he's putting in work. We got to appreciate that one guy on Twitter, or Twitch rather.
Yeah.
There's actually we get quite a few on Twitter, don't we?
We have like 71 on Twitter now, so it's definitely grown this last week. Wow. That's my one word for this week. Wow.
Yeah.
We got to be like very vague with the details, guys. So we can't indulge too deep into it. Like we'd like to indulge into like some MPW earnings or something. Who is that guy that Beater wanted to get on the channel? Who is like a Yahoo Finance MPW? Like,
oh, Abe.
Who's that?
I don't do the Yahoo stuff, so I don't really know Abe, but they post his comments and stuff get brought up in the Discord on like the research and everything, because he is he's very bullish MPW, you could say.
Yeah, you gotta get like an MPW leaderboard going in your Discord. Like
of who has the most?
Yeah.
It's either gonna be Leaf or Judicator, one of those two.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, I see a good point.
21 watching and only 7 likes. Come on, homies and homies.
This dude has to change his name, though. We cannot say that name out loud.
Oh. Oh. See, I thought it was like some crazy Russian.
And I'm not laughing because I think it's funny. I swear.
He was getting into an argument with Howell on Twitter yesterday under Capital Mindset's post supporting the Cash Flow Kings cause. But yeah, YouTube's like been insanely unhelpful. And I saw somebody said contact Echoes with an attorney. We'll look into it. If we get our channel back, we'll look into it.
Yeah.
MPW, quote of the year.
Based on what? Like, you have to give me a reason. You can't just say that. I mean, shit.
Twitter has a big financial audience. Sorry about that. I don't care if you say free cash flow kings on the Twitter, and I just know it's you. Like, you have different names everywhere. It's so great. I appreciate it. Yeah. Oh, I did sell out of I trimmed a stock this week. Next Air Energy.
Oh yeah. I mean, I've been doing a lot of repositioning some things, but yeah, no, I definitely still think MPW is a good investment at today's prices. I think it's pretty likely that we see prices more appropriate to the actual value somewhere above $10 at some point by probably early 2025. That's just my my gut instinct on that. You could say there's some catalysts, but obviously, you can never say for certain when exactly something, or even if it will ever get to its appropriate valuation. But if it ever gets back to its proper valuation, it will have been a good investment.
Did you see Costco went above 800 this week?
I've been hearing a lot about Costco and its insane valuation.
Ridiculous. Like,
yeah.
It's a great company, but at one point, what point is it going to come back to
its
value?
Almost makes that $500 price point on it look cheap now.
I know. Like, I remember when I bought it $535. I work as a school custodian, so I only buy Altria and Philip Morris, your traditional dividend stocks to keep. I'm telling you, yeah. I don't know if they get it directly from Altria or Philip Morris, but I know the Zimbabwe's are big with that's more bigger with like Gen Z in the 20s. That's owned by Philip Morris. Although I don't know if I'd invest just for the Zins because there's not a lot of staying power. It's like Crocs. Like, there's not a lot of history with it. But I'd make the argument they're more addictive than Crocs. That's for sure.
The Zins are more addictive than Crocs. Yeah, and you got to keep buying them till you can't just buy one.
May need to do some due diligence this summer. May need to. Why are we going to buy the NVIDIA after the stock split? Fiscal, I was hearing some rumblings that you were going to sell out of your MPW because you thought the NVIDIA was a better value after the stock split. Because we all know on the Cash Flow King, a stock split is just a discount at the end of the day. They feel generous. They want to buy back more shares, and they do a big discount for us.
Yeah, that's that. You got me.
What was it? 20 for 1 split?
It's a 10 for 1 split.
10 for 1 split. So you're pretty much getting a 90% discount on the stock.
So yeah, they want to make the share price $100 basically, or 100-ish, maybe 90-ish, depending on exactly what the stock price is doing.
For those of you who haven't figured out our very unprofessional show, that was a joke. Yeah. Just wait till you guys see some of this fucking merch we've done. Like, it's that it'll throw any legitimacy and professionality of the show out of it. I like it when they reverse. But I learned about the YouTube channel Sunday Night Show, of course. Crocs is at 150. I will not tolerate the 200 next.
200 next. Also, Starbucks. If the bottom is in on Starbucks, it could not possibly go lower again.
Okay, yeah, that's another quote of the year. He said that at $80, and then it went down 3% the next day. But I mean, it's still like the 78 where he made the call. So that's another quote of the year submission.
Also, it couldn't possibly go to 75. Who could have seen that coming?
Me and Fabio have a scummy little game that whenever he buys Starbucks, I have to buy it too. So I've just been averaging down like every day this week. He'll just tag me.
That's disgusting because he can keep buying it a lot longer than you can.
I'm just putting like $5 or $10 in at a time. So I mean, it's a little. Still, I'm getting like 20% of a share when I do that. It's funny. Still wetting. Death water. I like water. I don't like water. Yeah, Zen is Philip Morris. I don't know what companies make the vapes for like kids in high school though. I don't know. Like, is it underground stuff or do they get it from like? We need a nicotine fiend to come in.
You mean the kids who are using them? Where
Yeah, I don't know. Like I know a lot of kids smoke the Zaza, but like I don't know where they get the vapes from. I don't know if they get it from like Philip Morris
because some of them have an older brother that's 22 and like does that for them. Like,
good family.
It's just sibling things,
Just a little family affair. I gotta up my SHG shares. I was looking at buying on the one day that the market was down. Like, what was it, like 1 or 2% this week? Stuff was down. Maybe Thursday or Wednesday. I was looking and my SHG was up because Nvidia. So I mean, I'll up it whenever it's like below 90 or something. I don't know. I'd buy a lot more if I could do like fractional or like swap slices on it, but I got to put like 10% of my cash into the time if I'm gonna do it. So it's just annoying.
Yeah. I've been picking up more Grab stock.
A little weekly recap. We got to do 2 weekly recaps now.
Oh Lord, that's gonna be tough. Like that's gonna take forever because of all the transactions I've got.
Maybe we just make it a separate episode.
Yeah,
we might have cash flow things. Episode 34. How to get high yield income.
Yeah. But yeah, I've been picking up a bit more. That it had a little bit of a dip towards the end of this week, and so I just adding a little bit more. I kind of want it to be in the. I think I want it to be in my top 3, for reals. Such a good company. I mean, and the last earning. So, I'm glad you asked that. So, think about Uber, that business model, and then think about something like SoFi or even, Robinhood or PayPal, one of those, some combination of some of the services of each of them. And then you throw that on the same app as Uber. And then you put it in a part of the world that has all very high per capita GDP growth because they're emerging markets.
They get the income that a war is.
And what I think you have there is a really good case for, like, basically it has like all the positives of, for example, like Chinese tech companies, because what's the positive of a Chinese tech company? Well, it's a good business model in a fast growing economy with a fast growing middle class, right? But the drawback of a Chinese company is China. This is the same thing except no China.
Because I saw something talking about China.
Yeah. And it also lacks the worst part of Uber, which is Uber Freight. Uber Freight is...
Did you see Bill Ackman was going off on Uber on Twitter?
No.
He made up. I wouldn't be surprised if it impacted the stock.
And
he like...
And also, even though Morningstar doesn't say Grab has a moat, I will say this. They're the biggest player in that space in any of the markets where they operate. Uber owns a substantial stake and isn't going to compete with them. So
yeah,
they have what is effectively in the markets that are very close to a monopoly or monopolistic features. The other competitors they have are much smaller and fragmented and don't have nearly the same presence that they do.
So Bill Ackman he likes to go on Twitter and do these crazy posts, right? So he was in New York, he was riding an Uber, and he made a post just talking about how they're basically scamming off their employees. And right when he made the post, the stock dropped 2.5%. So the post was really interesting. He said that the driver told him that the passengers when he tips him, Uber kept the tip for itself. I said this could not be used to test it. When I finished the ride, I added a $5 tip. His screen showed I paid no tip. First of all, why is he paying a $5 tip if it's still active?
So that's weird because I do think there is a delay on the tips, like how they get processed after the ride gets processed. So I don't know. That sounds like a weird thing because every time I tip somebody on Uber, later on I get a notification that the driver thanked me for the tip, but like the amount of time that takes varies. It depends on when they see the notification.
What do you tip them usually? This is a finance show. What do you tip them?
15 or 20%. I don't know. Something like that.
Guff doesn't tip. If you didn't know already, Guff doesn't tip.
Oh. Well, anyways, but back to Grab, since that's what the question is about. Hey, their financial results have been good and improving, and they have a really great balance sheet. They no longer need to dilute. In fact, they've authorized a buyback program because they're good. Like financially speaking, like they don't need to put a bunch of capital in to grow the business anymore. Like they're in a good spot. And on the last earnings call, literally, like the analysts, before even asking their question, congratulated them on their great result. You know, it's a good earnings when the analysts start their question with a congratulations for the really good result. I have the question about so yeah, I feel pretty good about it.
Do you have a bear case? No, it's only gonna go up.
Yeah. So the official, like the bear case on Morningstar research is that a conglomerate with deep pockets might come in and like compete with them. The only one that exists in this industry is Uber, and they own a big stake. So like that bear case is nonsense from my perspective. My bear case, I guess, or the thing that could potentially be difficult is they operate in, multiple different, we'll call them less developed countries, but those countries all have their own sets of laws about how much ownership of a business a foreign entity can have. And so they have these like really weird, like operating entity structures in those countries to get around those rules. So like if the governments in those countries wanted to like crack down on foreign businesses operating in their borders, that could be difficult for Grab. Because like if you look at countries like Thailand or the Philippines, those are the two that I'm most familiar with this aspect. They both have kind of this sort of principle where for a business to operate within their country, it has to be, generally speaking, more than 50% owned by a citizen of that country. And the way they get around it is that they have an operator like Grab Thailand Operations LLC or something,
Yeah.
and they'll have that be owned 51% by somebody who is a director in the company that also happens to be a Thai citizen. And then that LLC gives 100% of the rights to the revenue to Grab Corporate in Singapore. And the government of Thailand could say, we no longer allow you to use this loophole and shut it down. But I think it's pretty unlikely that that's going to happen anytime in the near future. I was reading an article about Grab specifically in the Philippines, and there's data to suggest that people who do deliveries and stuff for Grab like actually have higher income than they did whatever they were doing before they started
You
working.
you used it too, right?
Yes, I've used Grab every single time I've been to the Philippines.
And how was it? What'd you order? Wait, how was it? What'd you order?
So I've done rideshare, which by the way, I've also used cabs there. Like, so there is a basis for comparison.
Yeah.
So Grab, your pricing is always consistent and fair. If you take a cab and you're a white American, you're going to have to pay the foreigner tax to that cabbie. Meaning that they're not going to price fairly. Like they're not going to go off the meter or whatever.
Yeah.
They're just going to quote you some price. usually 2 to 3 times what Grab would charge.
Huh.
So you want to use Grab if you're a foreigner visiting, we'll just say. Also, food delivery, like I'm in my
What do we
room.
order?
Well, here's the thing. This last time, as you know, I got quite sick like halfway through my stay.
Yes.
And it's like, so it was my lifeline, like for just like basic sustenance, essentially.
We're
But,
really trying to get that CEO interview. We're saying Grab is our lifeline.
yeah. So, I mean, I ordered, Jollibee a few times. Ordered from a place called Angel's Pizza, which is very popular over there. And the pizza's not anything similar to what you would recognize as pizza, but
I gotta look it up
interesting
now.
and it's good.
Angel's Pizza Philippines.
Yeah.
I gotta look at this now.
Yeah. But the majority of the time, like my favorite thing to order off of Grab is probably Jollibee, because it's like their spicy chicken is pretty great.
What did you get?
So I got and this is gonna sound horrific, but no. I got what is essentially like what they call like a spicy sushi flavor pizza. I know that sounds horrific.
All right, everybody, that's the end of the show.
It's actually very good, I promise.
So if I spend too much on advertisements, I need to cut that back down. Buy pictures in their company.
Yeah. So, anyways, I think it's definitely a great product or service, however you want to classify that. The app itself, by the way, works every bit as well as the Uber equivalent over here, as far as like delivery and ride share and everything. So that's really good. Obviously, I haven't really used any of their like financial services because I'm not trying to bank, over there or anything. But there is a lot of parts of the population in that part of the world that are underserved by traditional banks. And as they kind of grow their middle class and such, and the people are already used to being on the Grab app, they're probably more likely to want to use Grab's financial services since they've already got the app. They're already familiar with the brand more so than like, oh, well, now that I'm making enough money to use financial services, I'm going to go walk into a brick and mortar bank. It just doesn't seem likely that that's something that they're going to want to do.
Mm-hmm. Is Grab a tourist-based business?
No, locals use it plenty.
Yeah, I don't know why it would be.
But it is like they benefit a lot from tourism because
obviously.
Because like, we come over there, we're used to the convenience of Uber over here, and this is, the closest thing we can get. Of course, we're going to use it if we know about it, right?
Yeah.
And we can afford like to use that to get delivery to our rooms and stuff, maybe a little bit more so than what the locals can afford. But anybody over there that's like pretty well off probably uses it. And I think they have like, you can order like a motorbike, which is cheaper than a car ride. I think the locals probably use that a little bit more often, unless there's people sharing a car ride. So they kind of have like a right priced option for what you need for the locals.
Interesting.
Yeah. But part of my like, bear or bull case, sorry, is that the amount that the locals can utilize the service is going to increase over time as their disposable income. Yeah. So that's, part of the benefit is that it should get better over time. It's pretty good now, but as those countries develop and urbanize and get wealthier, it should get better and better and better. And the people who do work for Grab, generally speaking, do pretty well. Like if you even have a car over there, you're considered to be doing quite well.
Yeah.
So, and Grab just gives them an opportunity to like efficiently use that asset and, make more income.
grab user is gonna be no. Before we head out of here, in about 5-minute warning. So if anybody wants to ask any questions, a bit of a shorter show tonight. It's tough times for the fellas over here. Banks need to step up their game, but I'll hold TD. I mean, I don't. We had the dividend investor on in a conversation that's somewhere up in the cloud right now, deleted. And he talked about Canadian banks. He just looked at Eric's comment, dude. I just looked at Eric's comment.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. We'll pull it up next.
Yeah. But I can't focus. The Canadian banks thing, it's interesting because I think they actually are on a bit of a dip. Would you ever be interested at some point? I mean, it just looked like a lot of it was like timing kind of based.
Yeah.
Yeah, up 3% over the last 5 years. Been trading flat pretty much since 2018. Wow, it's wild.
Yeah.
Me personally, no, thank you. We're performance chasers here, and if it's even underperforming the 5-year chart, then it must be really.
If the 5-year chart doesn't look good, I don't want it. All right.
Yeah, we need to start a movement for the 7-year chart.
I'm gonna start a 5-year chart ETF. Oh, see. Well, how many? Well, as far as I know, 0. As far as I know. So funny. Funny thing about that though, because that is pretty common in that part of the world. Usually they're not trying to like trick anybody. They're very like on like the dating sites and stuff. They're very like that's like the top line is like they are telling you so that.
Would you consider it fair value though? Would you consider the price you're paying fair value, overvalued, undervalued, cigar butt, Motel 6? What are we talking?
So they're not like. Generally speaking, they're not like openly selling anything on the dating apps, but they do advertise like I am a whether that it be a trans woman, a ladyboy, whatever they want to call it, so that you have the opportunity to swipe left and avoid the awkwardness. Because all right, they actually don't want to trick you. They don't want you as like a guy to invite them over and then all of a sudden be surprised and whatever, because
name's Nancy.
Because a lot of guys like would get outraged and violent in that case. Like they don't want to get beaten up or worse, basically. So they're or whatever, right? So they're not out there trying to like trick straight guy well, there's an argument that you can indulge in that and still be straight. I that's a whole other topic, but
a whole other ball game, everybody. That's for
thing.
Episode 69. There's episode 32. There's episode 69. Big things for the cash flow kings.
Episode 69 could be crazy, yeah. But yeah, there you go. Like it is common, and I don't even know if I ever saw one like out in person, like just walking around or anything.
You never know.
I only for sure saw any like on different apps and stuff. So I don't know.
There's a discount of them. Because inflation is so high. All right, that's the sign to end up the show. A bit of a shorter show tonight, everybody. We apologize. Free cash flow kings. Continue. If you guys haven't already, like all of our posts on Twitter. Blow up YouTube, contact them, whatever. Save for the cash flow kings. We got attacked, to say the least. And hopefully we should be back on the main channel next week, if not probably 2 weeks. So it's an interesting time to be part of the cash flow kings. I'll say that.
So they did say, I think it's 10 business days, and we lose one for Memorial Day, so it might be.
Yeah, it might be. I forgot.
The timing might suck on that. Yeah.
All right.
Well, if not, we always have the option to do it here. So
yeah, we always do. We don't do it for the money, though.
No, we don't do it for the money.
All right. Thank you all for watching. Once again, follow our Twitter if you haven't already. Cash Flow Kings YT. Go like all of our stuff. Smash the like button. Subscribe. Do Dividend Sucks Hot Drugs. And of course, remember, I have it in the background. I have no pride wearing anymore. Thank you for watching. Smash like button, subscribe. Free cash flow kings, and remember cash flow
The flow is king.
Oh yeah.